the Tortola Pier Park be ready for the December 22nd, the 2015 grand opening? Will the works be substantially completed enough to allow visitors and, of course, cruise visitors and locals to go in and enjoy this entertainment location here in the BVI? With me to answer these and other questions, I have project manager, Mr. Dion Stout. He's responsible for the major works going on there at the Tortola Pier Park. Stout, welcome to the big story.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Rose.
Where are we with the development of this particular project?
Well, currently we're finishing up the last set of buildings that we're working on. We have about 4 buildings on the go, and we have a completion target of November 30th for those buildings, and in hopes to have them tenanted by December 22nd, the grand opening that you just mentioned.
So are you satisfied with the quality of the work and the speed of the work at the moment?
Well, if you look at the key, 1 year ago there was nothing out there.
Yes.
And in less than a year, you could see the substantial amount of work that has happened. That is something that's not typical in the Caribbean, much less the BVI. So I must say I'm very proud of all the contractors that have worked on the site today.
In my research, I noticed you had an April 1st completion date, and of course that was adjusted given various constraints. What would have led to that?
Well, the project itself had a late start, as we all know. And also we had a full season last year, which we had to work around the ships coming, etc. So things was off schedule a little bit, but we did meet that April 29th deadline that was set, which we opened the pier, and we're striving to meet this December 22nd deadline in a couple of weeks.
So if you were to take us back a bit, Stout, when ground was broken for this particular project to where we are today, what is your take on the timeline between groundbreaking and completion of the pier and now heading for the grand opening of the pier park?
It's a fast-track project.
Yes.
It's probably the fastest ever done in the history of the BVI. And it's less than 18 months since we broke ground until we're here to this plateau. And a project of this magnitude where we created a new city is not an easy feat. So to be where we're at today, much less where we're going to be on December 22nd, is a great accomplishment.
And of course, the groundbreaking was in 2014, in early 2014. So what is the reaction you're getting from the cruise visitors as they pass by? They see your men at work, the various teams, of course, busy completing this aspect of the project.
There's a sense of excitement because, one, at this point, you could see what the park is going to become. In the last couple of weeks, we started the hardscape and the landscaping works, so people can now see the beauty of the park. So I'm guessing within the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll be able to see some physical plants on the ground and also some significant amount of hardscape completed, which typical visitor will now be able to see what the overall scheme would look like.
In the initial designs, there was supposed to be some 17 buildings, 18 kiosks, and so forth. Is that information still relevant?
Yes and no. We've scaled back on the number of buildings for congestion reasons and also to make the park conducive to what the BVIPA thinks would take them into the future. But we've added a few kiosks. Again, it all came down to the business types and what type of businesses will be within the park when it's completed. So we had to change the number of building configurations quite a bit.
So how different will the park look based on these changes?
I would say not significant, but we still have an open lawn. But how it's designed, how it looks, the shape of it is different.
Okay.
But the open lawn is still there. The concept where we have buildings along the perimeter of the establishment is still there. So there's not a significant difference from the first images, but we had to make some tweaks to the initial design.
And talk to us about the reclamation area. We see a very large portion of land there, new land, Rotong is expanding outwards. What is that going to be used for?
All indications indicate that that will be used for a park in the future. That is outside of our scope.
Okay.
But we created the land and future governments will decide what it's used for.
And we were paying attention to, I remember in May of 2014, right after the groundbreaking ceremony, we looked across that area and we imagined what the reclaimed area would look like. And there was a talk as well as part of the project of constructing a boardwalk.
Yes,
Is that being done as well?
that boardwalk will eventually continue and take its way all the way down to Craft for Lives. Again, it's outside of our remit at the moment,
I see.
but it will be done in the future. It's still planned to be undertaken in the future.
Okay, let's go back to entertainment a bit. Based on the construction that you're doing, the various buildings that will be used for entertainment purposes and so on, and what can residents expect?
Well, there's a myriad of businesses will be out there. There's from restaurants to stores, clothing stores, jewelry stores, various types of entertainment will be in the park as well. Like I said, we have that open lawn area which will cater for bands, so that local bands, international acts will come in and entertain our guests.
Basically, this park is going to be an income generating location, not just for the folks who have businesses over there, but also entertainers and so forth.
That is 100% correct. The concept is going to be an open park, meaning anyone at any time will be able to come to this park once it's open and partake in whatever is happening over there.
Give us an idea of the environment, what it's going to look like in terms of the pedestrian access, vehicular access, if any, and so forth.
All right. Throughout the main park, we're going to limit vehicular access during certain hours. Persons who are tenants will be able to have drop-offs at certain limited hours, but it's going to be a pedestrian park predominantly. So persons coming to the park, you're going to have to walk.
Right. So I see. So you got to park outside and walk in.
That is correct.
Right. And as you walk in, what are we likely to see? I noticed while I was there recently that the visitor welcome center would pretty much be the center of attraction. But I haven't been able to figure out in my mind what the outer areas would look like.
From the pedestrian standpoint, or the persons coming from the central admin complex, you'll be coming into the park where the taxi stand will be the first thing you see. Then there'll be a fountain at the roundabout. And then there's a boulevard where shops will be on both sides, and also the open park. So it'll be just an open air atmosphere where shopping and entertainment meets.
And
The welcome center is just from the cruise
from
side.
the cruise side.
That's correct.
There you go. And we heard talk of course, the initial project design was scaled down, but we understand that there will be entertainment for children as well.
There will be entertainment for children. There's talks about having an area where we could have swimming pools and that kind of stuff.
Now, from a structural design point of view, what's in place for the consumption of waste materials of all sorts over there at the Pier Park? How is that being taken care of?
Well, we have a back of house area which will house all of our backup generators, wastewater treatment plants, etc. And we also have a garbage disposal area that will be located in that back of house area.
So I get the impression that the park is also, well, you took into consideration having the park be a green space as well.
Yes, that was highly considered by the designers.
I see. Now, in terms of the lighting, any use of solar energy?
No, we don't have solar energy within the park. What the designers' initial thought was to recreate Road Town from the 50s and 60s. So that's what the overall generating design concept came from. So you won't see modern things like the solar panels on the roofs and that kind of stuff. They wanted to emulate old Road Town with their designs.
So Tortola Pier Park is meant to capture what old Road Town looked like back then?
That is correct.
And from your own perspective, you think this is ideal for visitors coming in? You think they're going to gravitate to this?
Yes, I mean, I've visited other cruise piers and parks in the Caribbean, and not being biased, but I think ours will be one of the best, one of the better that has come on stream in the last few years.
Now, I must ask you this question in terms of the cost. It has been bandied about where the cost is, and so far many people seem not to have an exact figure. Can you give us a ballpark range where we're at this point?
The park will cost over $50 million.
And it's value for money?
Definitely value for money.
Now, how would you rate the VVI's performance in terms of constructing this park with some of the other cruise facilities being constructed across the region? You said you have been to a couple others.
Like I said earlier,
yes,
the speed in which we have done what you've seen out on site is unsurpassed. I have not seen or heard of any type of construction within our immediate region that has accomplished what we have done in such a short time.
Now, something just dawned on me. When folks come to this park, are they able to move in and around the park quite comfortably and in so doing access the various businesses? Or would some businesses who are on the main thoroughfare, so to speak, feel as though they have the better advantage?
No. The park there's so much space. That's one of the reasons why we cut down the amount of buildings.
Okay.
To create the space for persons to traverse through the park and be able to find all the businesses much easier.
Great, that sounds great. Now, in terms of you mentioned the hardscape earlier on. Now, the aesthetics of the location. What are we likely to see in terms of the use of flora and fauna and that kind of thing, decorative stuff and so forth?
There's going to be a lot of palms, of course, tropical island. There's going to be palms, other tropical fauna. In terms of the hardscape, we're using a lot of reclaimed brick because, again, they want to create this old world feel, and local stone for parts of the pathways. So there's a mix of materials, concrete in certain areas, etc. There's a definite eclectic mix of materials to recreate this old world feeling.
Of course, you're watching The Big Story here with Sean Rose, and with me is Mr. Dion Stout. He's project manager for the Tortola Pier Park project. Just before you go, Mr. Stout, a few more questions.
Sure.
One, do you think that this project will be well received by the wider population here in the Virgin Islands on completion?
I really hope so. On April 29th, when we opened, there was great fanfare, and I could see a lot of people's faces where they were very happy to see what direction we're going. And with now this second phase, where a lot of local persons will be able to actually own businesses out there, I'm thinking it will have a great effect on the wider community, BVI community.
And what would you say has been your biggest challenge, if any?
Time and money, like any other construction project. Of course, it's a funded project through the ports, and they had to get loans, etc. So the timing of all those things, and also we just had a tight timelines to get this completed. So I think we were able to overcome both to this point, and we're gonna mosey on to get it to the finish line.
And in terms of your greatest satisfaction coming out of it so far?
The fact that this project was constructed by all local contractors and we're able to accomplish the things that we've done is something that we should all be proud of, should be proud of.
What have you been hearing from other technocrats and experts in the field who have seen the work going on there?
Well, I usually am working so hard I'm not listening to all the other chatter, but mainly I've heard good things. People are happy to see what's happening. Again, there's a lot of local contractors out there working, and although they're under pressure in terms of time, the camaraderie is there, and that makes it satisfying to see that level of camaraderie amongst us, because usually we're competing against each other for various other jobs, but here we're all together trying to accomplish a common goal.
You're an engineer by training?
I am an architect by training.
Now, from your own expertise, how do you see the quality of work that's going on at TPP be an example for other development work being done across the territory and even beyond?
I think it's a great example because, again, a number of the contractors, their customer working isolated probably out in the bush somewhere. And I don't use bush derogatory.
Yes.
And now this
new
is
projects,
right, but this is now a structured format where you have to do submittals. Everything is formal, so your paperwork and everything has to be on point at all times. You have to be in meetings on a weekly basis. So there's a number of strategies and structure that has come to a lot of contractors, which I think they're going to appreciate after this project moving forward.
So apart from the physical work that we see, a lot of administrative work has been going on in the background.
Administration is what is the key. That's why we're here where we're at today. Without that administrative part, we would have not been able to accomplish what we have done today.
And let me finish where I started with you. Are you sure you're set for December 22nd?
There will be an opening on December 22nd at the Pier Park.
Mr. Dion Stout, project manager at the Tortola Pier Park. Thank you so much for joining me on The Big Story.
Thank you, Mr. Rose.
Coming up next, we'll hear more about the readiness of the Pier Park for this December 22nd grand opening. Stay tuned. Welcome back to The Big Story. I am Sean Rose. Earlier, you heard from Dion Stout, the project manager for the Tortola Pier Park development, and you heard him saying that there will be an opening on December 22nd. Now, to talk more about the preparations for December 22nd, 2015, I have leasing and marketing manager, Meslyn Allen. Meslyn, welcome to The Big Story.
Thank you for having me.
Great. Now, I know a lot is going on over there at the Tortola Pier Park,
Yes.
and you're getting ready for December 22nd.
Yes.
Tell us about the various stores. Are they ready?
The various vendors?
Yes.
Yes, we have quite a few stores. As you guys know, we have our building 1, which is our terminal building, where all the stores in that building on the ground floor are operational.
Yes.
And then we have some stores that are getting ready to open. Actually, we have a new store that opened this week, which is Cedar White. And we have JBY, which would be the next in line to open. They're almost completed their fit out. And then, of course, we have some of the tenants that have started their fit out and are well on their way in preparations for the grand opening on December 22nd. So we have persons like Diamonds International, Effie Jewelers, as well as Aromas, a cigar bar, who has started their fit out and are ready to go. And of course, I'm sure Dion mentioned, the project management are working very diligently
Yes.
to finish the building so the balance of the tenants can start their fit out.
And in terms of the variety of products being offered, are you satisfied that there is, in fact, a variety?
You know, we've taken into consideration the whole picture, and we have our target market, and we've catered to the different demographics,
Yes.
wherein we have anything ranging from food. We have a great entertainment program that we put into place. We have a kids area.
Okay.
We have food. I said food already.
Yes, yes.
We have clothing. We have men and women's fashion. We have jewelry. We have cosmetic jewelry. We have electronics. So, and we also have services like medical services and
you
stuff
do.
like that. So, we have a pretty complete facility and a great destination for both residents and visitors who are coming to the territory.
What can you tell us about the offerings for children, Meslyn?
Well, we'll have our entertainment, which I'm sure children will be able to take part in. And we also have a kids' room.
Oh.
We actually have facilities for kids, for you to carry your kids and they can play and enjoy those facilities.
Would that
in
be
one of
like
ours.
bouncy castles and that kind of thing?
Well,
Toys and so forth?
Right. We will do that on the outside as a part of various events.
Yeah.
And we also have an inside facilities that caters to children.
Okay. And in terms of food, are we talking Virgin Islands culture where food is concerned, or are we talking a bit of the international taste as well?
Well, we definitely wanted to, embody the whole BVI experience and the BVI culture. So persons who are coming to the facility can have that experience. So yes, our food we do have vendors that are doing local food and giving you
Yes.
that local experience. Even that on the beach, by a cabana, bar, just chilling,
Yes.
We have a cigar bar, and we have various things within the Pier Park that gives you a great experience, whether you're coming to shop, whether you're coming to lounge, whether you're coming to, enjoy an event that we're having there.
Great. And the owners, Meslyn, who are these owners predominantly? Where are they from?
Right. Well, we're proud to say that actually more than 90% of the stores in there are locally owned. And we only have about 4 international tenants.
Okay.
And the balance, we have about 80 stores.
Yes.
And we have 4 international tenants, and the remainder is local tenants. Some persons may not be familiar with the store names, as a lot of our local tenants took the opportunity to come up with new concepts to service the
Yes.
BVI market as well as BVI visitors.
You are there on a regular basis. You see the visitors traverse the existing areas where stores are opened. What has been the reaction from these visitors and the vendors alike?
I think we've had so far, even being a construction site that we are now,
Yes.
we think we had some really good feedback from our visitors who are coming off the cruise ship. And, I've been keeping in touch with our store owners, touching base to make sure everything is well, getting their feedback as far as, the shopping and the visitor experience. And, I'm proud to say that all of our vendors on site are very happy with the results that they're receiving.
There aren't any disagreements, any negative feedback so far that comes to mind?
No. As I said, I definitely speak with them quite often to make sure that everyone is happy, and we just brought on our customer service manager who will definitely ensure that you have the stellar experience while at the facility. So everyone is happy, and the tenants who are waiting, who are ready for their fit out, who haven't started their fit out yet, but they're waiting for the completion of the buildings, they're very excited. They can't wait to get in there and, you know, to offer their great services and products, and we're excited to have them.
What about adult entertainment? What's in store? What can we expect?
Well, you know, what I've been doing is, you know, I've been reaching out to various event managers, persons who do stuff like that, to encourage them to come and visit the facility to start conceptualizing new ideas, to have new events. So we also want it to be a nice hub for the locals where they can come and enjoy events, whether it be on our outside venues or inside venue.
So, in other words, event planners can approach you and say, I have this wonderful idea, I would like the Tortola Pier Park to be the venue, and we can work together?
That's absolutely correct.
And is there a cost associated with this, or what is that process like?
Yes, there will be a cost structure in the works, which would, when you want to have an event there, you liaise with myself, who will be dealing with the events for the Pier Park, and, you know, we can organize it, you know, we work out the details, and, you know, work with you to have an actual great event.
Now let's go back to the stores. A while ago you said Cedar White is open now?
Yes, yes.
And so how about we take a short break from the set, run over there and see what's happening at Cedar White, talk to a few people and get some feedback.
Absolutely.
Is that okay?
Let's do that.
All right, great. Well, the big story continues. We're going to move to the Tortola Pier Park location, have a conversation with the folks there at Cedar White, and then we're going to come back on set. Stay tuned. The big story, we've just moved to Cedar White, and we're going to talk to the owner and find out what this story is all about. Let's start with your name. Tell us who you are.
It's Elaine Smith.
And I'm told that you're a Virgin Islander.
I am indeed. So my family is from here. My father's side of the family is from here. I'm from the UK, but I've come back here because I wanted to open this concept store and support and promote Caribbean fashion.
Tell us what has been the support, the involvement, the reaction from the visitors coming through.
Oh, they love all the pieces. They love all the bright colors. They love the fact that it's all locally made. It's made in the region. It's a new kind of concept. I'm trying to not just promote, I'm trying to promote what is made here so that people can pick up a piece of the Caribbean and take it back home with them.
You came home to the BVI because you wanted the BVI to be promoting what's BVI.
Yeah.
What's your expectation for the grand opening of the Tortola Pier Park in terms of locals coming in, apart from visitors?
I think it'll be great. You know, I'm really looking forward to the local population being able to come in here and shop and pick up these different pieces. They can come in at the moment, but it's only when the cruise ships are in. But it'll be great just to be open fully and see everybody coming in.
Any experience you can share? Of course, you've lived outside of the Caribbean for a while, I suspect. In terms of the expectations of customers in today's fashion world, not just looking for items made in China or France or what have you.
Right, exactly. And I think especially in the Caribbean, they're coming over to pick up something unique, and they want something that they can go back home with and you can't get anywhere else. So it's not just something that's made in China, it's actually made locally, and they go home and not everybody has it. So they're able to have a bit of individuality by shopping in places like Cedar White.
What local products are we talking about? Who are the designers? Who are the people behind the different items that we're looking at?
Okay, so we can take a look over here, which is Paradise Prints.
Yes.
And this is a St. Lucian brand. Everything is hand painted and it's completely unique. So these pieces, even though they look the same, they are actually different. She makes the design slightly different for each piece.
And how did you get your hand on these?
Well, I saw Fiona's work on Facebook. Fiona is the designer behind Paradise Prints, and I just loved her pieces. So I've basically just got in contact with different Caribbean designers whose brands I love and brought them into store for everybody else.
So for this big story segment, show us some other items. I see Treffle over here.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have Treffle, a BVI brand. Made by Kristen Fraser, so it's local, and again, it's all about supporting local talent and fashion. We have her full range of botanical prints here. We also had a collaboration between Cedar White and Treffle, which is this Sheba collection, so it's the leopard print and the black. And we also have some T-shirts, and we have the wristlets by Treffle.
Okay, so before we conclude this particular interview with you and go back to our set on the big story, in a nutshell, what are some of the other items are we looking at here in your store?
Well, we have jewelry, we have handbags, we have shoes, we have handbags from St. Lucia, which is Membet. We also have jewelry here, so we have wooden hand-painted earrings, which is by Corporate Couture, and they're from Trinidad. And we also have some thread-wrapped necklaces, which are very unique, as you can see, and they're also from Trinidad. They're by Benet Carib.
So basically, your store, Cedar White, has captured a lot of work from artists and designers throughout the Caribbean.
Yes. The idea is to show what we can do in this region and promote it and let everybody come in and take a piece with them.
All right, thank you so much. We got to go back on the set and talk to Meslin about expectations coming up for the opening of the Tortola Pier Park. How are preparations going for the December 22nd grand opening of the Tortola Pier Park? We heard from project manager Mr. Dion Stout earlier in this special edition that there will be an opening. He seems quite comfortable. Meslin Allen, leasing and marketing manager, is right here with me, and she too seems quite comfortable. Preparations are ongoing. She says many stores are opening and many set to open in the very near future. Right. And earlier on, offset, you told me about the flow of visitors coming in and so forth in terms of the number of cruise ships coming to the territory at this time. And there is an anticipation, of course, that you'll have more than one cruise ships in on the very day for the opening. So tell me, what have you been seeing and what's going on in terms of the cruise visits?
Well, you know, during the summer months, we had one cruise ship a week,
right,
which was, you know, pretty good given our previous seasons. And the tourism sector seemed to, you know, really benefit from that. And as we move into the tourism season now, things obviously has picking up a lot more, where we see maybe sometimes one ship every day for the week, where we see 2 to 3 ships in at the same time. So it's really picking up nicely, and as we go into the December month and January, we're anticipating a large increase in the ships.
Where are these visitors going when they come through, Meslin? Are they just traversing and getting out of the pier park and going around the territory?
Well, currently they go through our terminal building, which is our main welcome center, where we have that local experience with all the local stores doing locally made products and, you know, drinks and various things. And then the persons who go on their organized tours, whether it be sea or land tours, they go in their various directions with their agents, and they go on their tours. Other persons, they shop around within the facility. Other persons will go out to our temporary staging area for the taxi drivers and the tourist board, and, you know, find out more information about what to do once they're on island.
And I'm asking this question because I'm sure many of our viewers are wondering if the cruise visitors would actually shop at the Tortola Pier Park. So has that been your observation? Is that what you're seeing?
Oh yes, the cruise visitors definitely shop, and, you know, I think they really appreciate the different products that they find there, which they would definitely wouldn't find in any other seaport.
That's right.
So they shop, and as I said prior, the stores are really happy with what they've gotten so far, and they look forward to the actual whole facility being open and, you know, what to expect as the season picks up.
Now, let's talk a bit more about the opening ceremony. I know you're still in the planning stages, but what's taking shape so far?
Well, we've been working closely with Disney, who have partnered with us on the opening. So they'll be facilitating certain things as it relates to the opening. And we've also formed a committee where we are planning, how it's going to work. Right now, we're looking at around 5 o'clock or 5:30 to have the grand opening, where we invite the public and everyone who wants to come and, experience the Pier Park, learn a bit more about it and do a little shopping.
I remember when you opened the pier itself, at the completion of the pier, the brand new extended pier. There were a lot of people over there. Are you anticipating a similar crowd?
We are definitely anticipating a similar crowd, and we welcome it.
Would you have fireworks as well?
That is in initial talks right now. As I said, nothing is really confirmed, as we are definitely in the initial stages of planning.
But certainly entertainment, and along with the speeches and all those things we can look forward to.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And in terms of the location within the park where the opening ceremony would be held, what is that area looking like? Is that area shaping up? Is that area ready?
That area is shaping up quite nicely. We'll be having the opening ceremony in the open green lawn space that we have within the Pier Park. So it'll be pretty nice. And you'll be right in the heart of the Pier Park, of destination Tortola Pier Park. And, it'll be a pretty good experience. And everything is coming together nicely. The project management team, Dion and his team, is working on the hardscape and the buildings, and everyone is working overtime to make sure that we have an awesome product to deliver to you guys.
I'm sorry to intervene, but what is the mood from your side of things in terms of the management of the Pier Park?
It's a tight-knit team. All of us are working hand in hand to make sure that we have a seamless process where, anything from, building the buildings to the hardscape, to getting the tenants in the buildings and getting them to start their fit out, to actually completing the stores and open for business. Everything we're working, our team, project management team, the BVI Post Authority and the government of the Virgin Islands are working hand in hand to ensure that everything is going well and we're on schedule as we need to be.
Talk to us a little bit, Meslin, about the customer service over there, the standards that you're aiming to achieve and what you're seeing being provided now to visitors. What's your observation?
We have a lot of, we hold the Pier Park to great standards, and we have a lot of regulations and certain standards that the tenants has to meet, as well as in their interaction with the customers. We also facilitate training for the store owners and their staff. So obviously a good customer service experience is very important for us at the Tortola Pier Park, because we want to keep that high standard that the BVI has as it relates to welcoming visitors to our shores.
I suspect that you don't interact with the cruise lines and the officials that much, but have you had any feedback from them about what the experience has been?
Yes, the cruise lines are actually very much on board with what we are doing, and we've been having weekly meetings with them and keeping them up to date. So again, those are one of our key partners that we've been working hand in hand with for the development of the project.
And how do you see the Tortola Pier Park serving as a boost, not just to BVI tourism, but also to channel more people into BVI, and as a result bring more customers in to flow to the different businesses outside of the Pier Park?
The BVI has a really strong tourism product, and I think that the shopping center, Tortola Pier Park, would definitely enhance what the BVI already has and create an additional option for persons to want to come to the BVI and to come to the BVI. And I really think that the Tortola Pier Park will shape or enhance the shopping options in the BVI as well.
And let's talk about employment. I noticed, and you said it several times so far during this edition, a number of stores are over there, of course, and there are the entertainment areas and so forth as well. And there will be the landscaping and the maintenance of all those things. In terms of employment, what opportunities are you seeing?
This project is a BVI project. It's a government project where, stores or local tenants get to have the opportunity to have a store and to, you know, have their own business and to get additional revenue from that, as well as all the stores. Obviously, they're creating new jobs.
Yes.
As you know, if you look in the newspaper or if you look online, you can see many of our stores that are within the Pier Park are currently looking for staff. I know a couple weeks ago I saw Diamond International put out about 6 or 7 ads for various positions.
Okay.
So, you know, I think it helps the economy a lot, as well as, you know, provide additional options, as well as building the tourism sector.
And how many, maybe you mentioned it earlier, but how many stores are we talking about?
We're talking about around 80 stores.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Because even if you multiply by 2, you know, it's a significant amount of people who would be
Right,
employed there.
right, correct.
And outside of the stores, there are other employment opportunities, of course, with
Yes.
the Pier Park and so forth.
Right. Yes. So as I said, they have different opportunities for promoters to come in and do their events and various things. So there's quite a bit of opportunity to, you know, bring and generate revenue for BV Islanders and residents of the territory.
One of the things I have noticed that the Pier Park has done is it has structured the way the taxi operators operate.
Mm-hmm.
What has been their feedback, the taxi operators?
Well, you know, a part of my job is one of the things is I go around and I try to get feedback from the various target market, from the various persons who would benefit from the facility. And I've had sit downs with some taxi drivers, you know, getting their feel as to where we were prior, because they have a good take on it, as opposed to where we are now. And I think, you know, they're actually on board and they're very supportive of the project. And they do see the benefits increasing for them. So, you know, that's a good thing for us, because we definitely want to partner with the taxi drivers and various businesses within the BVI to ensure that it's all beneficial to everyone.
And you get the sense that they are satisfied with the structure that's in place as well.
Yes, I think so. And I think that as the Pier Park comes to completion and it is completely open, that it will be better realized at that time.
So basically, you're ready for December 22nd. That's what you're telling us.
We are ready for December 22nd, full steam ahead, making sure that everything is in place to make sure everyone has that great experience at the Tortola Pier Park for our opening.
You enjoy working at the Pier Park?
Yes, I do love working at the Tortola Pier Park.
Are you proud of that facility?
I am proud of the facility. I am. I think it's a great addition to the BVI.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on The Big Story.
Thank you for having me.
Great. There you have it. The officials from the Tortola Pier Park, they are convinced that they are ready. They're saying that the facility is a boost to the BVI tourism product, and I certainly hope that the questions I asked were those that you wanted asked, and maybe there are others that we can ask at a later point, maybe as we get closer to the grand opening on December 22nd. But so far, it sounds like a great Christmas here in the BVI as we get ready for the opening of the Tortola Pier Park. I am Sean Rose. Thank you so much for watching this edition of The Big Story.